devotion, especially those who join us for the first time. Please join me in the opening statement. Today, Anshil, on the second day, in the second month, the heavenly calendar, in the 11-year Chonil Guk, March 23rd, 2023. On the daily morning on Doke session 657, we offer our determination to restore 1/3 of the population in our region by 2027, united as a victorious holy community. Let's greet heavenly parents and true parents. Chonjin, Champo Moninge, Kyombe. Hello. Today is the Anshil. Through the Anshil, we also are now entering the realm of true love. Let's read it on the okay. Anshil, sorry. Can I have a big screen? Number 1, our family, the owner of Chonil Guk, pledged to seek our original homeland and build the kingdom of God on earth and in heaven, the original ideal of creation by centering on true love. Number 2, our family, pledged to represent and become central to heaven and earth by attending heavenly parent and true parents, perfect the family with son and daughter, in family, patriots in our nation, sons in the world, and divine sons and daughters in heaven and earth by centering on true love. Number 3, our family, the owner of Chonil Guk, pledge to perfect the forgotten realm of art, the Trigreti kingship, and the realm of the royal family by centering on true love. Number 4, our family, the owner of Chonil Guk, pledges to build a universal family encompassing heaven and earth, which is the heavenly parents' ideal of creation, and perfect the world of freedom, peace, unity, and happiness by centering on true love. Number 5, our family, the owner of Chonil Guk, pledges to strive every day to advance the unification of the spirit world and the physical world as a subject and object partners by centering on true love. Number 6, our family, the owner of Chonil Guk, pledges to become a family that move heavenly fortune by embodying the heavenly parents and true parents, and to perfect a family that conveys heaven's blessing to our community by centering on true love. Number 7, Our family, the owner of Channel Group, pledges through living for the sake of others to perfect the world based on culture of art, which is rooted in the original line by centered on true love. Number 8, our family, the owner of Channel Group, pledges, having entered the era of Channel Group, to achieve the ideal of God and human being united in love through absolute faith, absolute love, and absolute obedience, and to perfect the realm of liberation and complete freedom in the kingdom of God on earth and in heaven by centered on true love. Mama. Okay. I'm very happy to introduce and invite you to our elder sister, Mrs. Chioko Topie, who honors us today by offering the representative prayer on behalf of all of us. Welcome, dear sister, Mrs. Chioko. Very happy and honored that you are joining us today.
Good morning, brothers and sisters. My name is Chioko Topie from small, beautiful country of the Central Asia. Please join prayer. Yeah. Good morning and champ morning. 안녕하십니까? 사랑합니다. And 감사합니다. Dear parents, we thank you for this day to start together with the Central America and Caribbean precious brothers and sisters together to offer the ondoke. Heavenly parents, how much that you want us to know who you are and also who true parents are. They are our hearts and our hope and our everything. Heavenly parents, today is externally very developing, and there is so many things from technology and also from science. Heavenly parents, but always we have to have a center. Is today it's one heart of the true mother and one thought with true mother together to attend true mother to accomplish the final, the foreign history to the reach to the Chongil Cook that your dream and 6,000 years you are working hard to guide foreign people to come to understand and come together. Heavenly parents, we are so grateful for True Mother, the bravery stand to guide the not only us but all mankind, and already 80 years old, but the strong determination that she wants finish all the problems of your problems and mankind problems to solve, to want to make the way to the kingdom of heaven. Heavenly Parents, we are midst of that. It's so grateful and so privileged that we have today. And we think about how we can do for our couples, our families, and our nation, and our region, finally, the world. What I can do, even small things, and with joy and gratitude to experience all your heart and your love. Heavenly Parents, we are so grateful all together to start this day. Heavenly Parents, we like to live with you and everything do with you. We thank you. And I report Remy and Chioko Topie, blessed family, as you.
It is an honor for me to invite an extraordinary elder sister, Mrs. Nola Boyer, who honor us by reading the Ondoke today from the book Pyong Wagyon, Message of Peace. Welcome and thank you, dear Sister Nola. We are very honored and grateful to your participation.
Thank you. I greet everyone this morning, and it's a great pleasure to be reading this message this morning. I thank you.
And start from the yellow part.
From the yellow part. Okay. Construction of peace zones in all border areas. Even at this moment, more and more conflicts are breaking out across the world over dispute borders. As a result, the world is sustaining. I'm not seeing the corners. I'm not seeing the corners.
Put down in your picture.
You can move your picture.
Touch with the finger and move down.
Okay, just a moment.
Make small your picture, minus your picture at the top of the picture. There is a minus.
Just a moment, please. Moment. Just a moment, please. Now.
Okay.
Just a moment, sister. Not a moment. Just a moment.
Okay. Okay.
Let's start again, please. From the beginning.
I'm still not seeing the corners. The N words.
Okay. Yes, just a moment. I need to do something. No, but can we? Oh. Okay. Maybe you have your picture. You cannot see because your picture. You can move with your finger your picture wherever you want to put. Also, you can minimize this picture in your screen. Okay, you can read now.
No, I'm still not seeing the words at the end. I'm only seeing breaking out, and it's maybe a cross. So I'll have to guess. Yeah, there's a lot of space on the left hand side.
How about now?
It's the same thing.
And
I get maybe you'll have
actually,
to. I probably have to guess because maybe it's not much missing. Okay, right. Okay, okay. Break out across. Okay. Okay, so I guess I'll.
if Anola, if you click on the photo, at the top you will see a minus. You click the minus.
Click minus.
Click the photo, and at the top on the left side, you see minus.
At the top, you say?
Yes. Top of the photo. Top of the photo, left side of the photo. Over there, all the pictures.
Yes.
You click on it. You put your. And at the top, you can see minus at the top.
Hold on a while. The first one.
Maybe picture but
On the top.
So
I'm not seeing. Just a minute.
also, Sister Nola, also you can put your picture wherever you want. Just touch with your finger, with the mouse, and or your
I guess
fingers.
I'll have to just a minute.
Okay.
At the back, at the back. You can't pass it.
Yes.
So,
I'll have to
Eliezer, if I share my screen, is it better?
Okay, try, but I think we'll be
substantial.
Okay, I try.
just try to share the screen, please.
I try.
Okay, I will close my.
Okay, so
Maybe that is better because now.
yeah, I've seen it better. I can see it there.
It's good. You can read like that.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Then
You
read
can make more biggest, maybe.
like that.
Yeah, it's good there. I can read that.
Okay.
You can read. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Start the
Thank you,
construction.
sister. So sorry.
Okay.
Okay. So okay. As a result, the world is sustaining substantial loss of human life. In addition, the money poured into war making and peacemaking runs into the billions of dollars. So many resources and efforts are being wasted. Yet, comprehensive solutions have not been fully achieved with respect to any given conflict. To solve this problem, I would like to make some proposals for your consideration. I propose today that the United Nations and religious leaders join their hearts and work to create peace zones in areas of conflict. Whether the dispute borders pass through rivers, mountains, fields, or the sea, we can create buffer zones or peace zones along these borders. These zones would be governed directly by the United Nations. People from around the world dedicated to the establishment of peace would be allowed to settle in these zones. The United Nations would be responsible to provide guidance to those living in these areas so that they come to embody the founding ideals of the United Nations and comply with its delegations for peace. These peace zones would be heavens that exist for the sake of peace, prosperity, and reconciliation. They would be free of racial and sexual discrimination, human rights violations, and war. These areas would also be ecological and environmental heaven for the entire natural world. To create such zones of peace, freedom, and ecological harmony, the concerned nations will have to be willing to provide the necessary land. This is not a simple matter, for there will be resistance to the surrender of land, even for a peace zone. I have dedicated much effort towards finding solutions to this problem, particularly as it applies to my native land, Korea. I have thought that there is a providential significance to Korea, having been a prominent victim of Cold War. As you know, both the division of Korea and the war that followed our outgrowths of the Cold War. The Korean War, in which the youth of 16 countries shed their blood under the United Nations flag to protect freedom. As a righteous war, peace dented in history. I remain ever grateful to the United Nations and those 16 nations. Yet, the peaceful unification of Korea remains to be accomplished. For this reason, I have continually pondered about the United Nations solemn mission for building a world of peace and how this relates to God's providence. I sincerely hope that the current mood of reconciliation and cooperation between South and North Korea, which begins last June, will continue. I hope the entire demilitarized zone along the 155-mile military demarcation line that crosses the Korean Peninsula can be turned into peace zones under UN jurisdiction. I believe the United Nations will take the lead in this effort and build exhibition halls, museums, educational sites, and peace parks in this zone in order to teach visitors important lessons regarding peace. I am purchasing almost 1.2 million hectares of fertile land in South America's Mercosur countries to help compensate countries for any land they may lose as a result of the establishment of UN peace zones. I have already notified leaders of North and South America for their use. As I make this proposal public, it is my fervent hope that world leaders and goodwill can understand this purpose and join with me. In particular, I hope that they will join me in willingly donating their land and money for use in creating UN supervised peace zones. These zones under UN leadership will give rise to ideal moral societies where nature and people live in harmony, preparing a fund to build a world peace zone. In December 1998, I proposed the funding of an international peace fund in an address I gave to religious leaders gathering for an international conference that had as its theme, realizing the interfaith ideal. Beyond the dialogue into practice, along the leaders who participated in that conference resolved to initiate a movement in which the world's religious people would lead the way in making donations for world peace. We proposed that donations be given in amounts related to the number 7. Because various individuals and countries face different economic realities, one person might find it difficult to give $7, whereas someone else might be able to give as much as $7 million. I believe that if all religious people on earth become one in heart, they will actively participate in this fundraising effort. The fund thus created would be used to establish peace zones and to teach the ideals of peace and the methods to achieve it. In addition to religious people, the United Nations too could encourage all nations and their people to make annual contributions to this fund. These funds might be donated under the name of the White Cross Fund. Wealthy philanthropists, business leaders, and industrialists, leaders in other fields, along with individuals and organizations, would be encouraged to actively participate in the construction of UN peace zones. In this way, they could lead the way in raising the necessary funds and creating an atmosphere of peace. Furthermore, one of the reasons I funded the Interreligious and International Federation for World Peace was to help create an interreligious assembly to serve as a Senate or Council within the United Nations. To implement this plan, I proposed that each nation, in addition to its current ambassador, send a religious ambassador to the United Nations to serve as a member of the Religious Assembly or UN Senate. The mission statement of the representatives of this UN Senate would require that they have a genuinely ecumenical or interreligious consciousness, and that they have the training and ability to teach a universal transnational ideal of peace. The nature of their purpose and mission would prohibit their promoting the narrow interests of a particular country. Rather, they would carry out their duties for the ideal of peace in the world and for the sake of all humanity in accordance with God's will. The interreligious ambassador, appointed as a member of the United Nations Senate or Council, should have a global consciousness to take responsibility to represent the United Nations global vision and agenda. In this sense, these persons could be thought of as global ambassadors from the United Nations. Wherever they go in the world, these ambassadors would promote movements dedicated to the realization of peace and social welfare. Moreover, in all nations, they would serve as conscious guardians of lofty ideals such as justice, security, and peace. This will provide hope to the citizens of the world, and especially the youth. People will then have the opportunity to see with their own eyes the emergence of young people around the world seeking true love and lasting peace. Those selected as ecumenical and transnational ambassadors will also be able to help guide and supervise various UN-sponsored projects in health, education, welfare, and other fields. I have worked with many groups and organizations to educate people around the world about the meaning and value of true love, true families, transcending religious denominations and nationalities. My continuous investment in the area and ongoing efforts for dialogue and reconciliation over the last decade have demonstrated beyond any doubt that the strongest foundation for the unity of humanity is the universal and essential love generated through the ideal of true family. Establishment of official United Nations Commemorative Day. Based on these considerations, I urge all the organizations connected to the United Nations to uphold and promote the ideals of true love and true families. For this reason, I would like to make another proposal that the senior decision makers at the United Nations proclaim, in accordance with existing procedures and regulations, a special day to be commemorated worldwide. I understand that the United Nations has made proclamations such as the International Year of the Family, and that it has declared various 10-year objectives, such as the decade to end poverty. Along these lines, I propose that the United Nations establish an official commemorative day to uphold the ideal of the family, so that the world can remember and celebrate this day every year. Specifically, I propose that True Parents Day be established as a day of global celebration. At that same time, I propose that True Family Day be established as a second day of global celebration. By celebrating such a day each year, transcending the barriers between races, religions, and cultures, and loving and cherishing one another, we will be able to fully experience our true and common human roots and understand the preciousness of truth. Additionally, we should establish a UN Forces Day so that the sacred mission of the United Nations, righteousness, and its peacemaking forces can be honored. Respected world leaders, let us join our hands and hearts to improve our institutions and organizations so that the precious wisdom of religion, along with that of scholars, diplomats, and people of insight and knowledge, can be mobilized to solve the serious and urgent crisis of the world. I believe solutions to world problems can come about if we establish the proposed council composed of religious leaders in cooperation with the political leaders and diplomats of the current United Nations. The Interreligious and International Federation for World Peace will promote this ideal, for religion can offer great service in providing guidance in matters concerning the absolute being. The world of transcendence, our internal life, and the spirit world. For this purpose, the IIFWP will make devoted and sacrificial efforts to attain the eternal love and harmony and the homeland of God, where the United Nations efforts for peace are honored and where all humanity forms one universal family as brothers and sisters under God, our parent. I believe that the world leaders and officers of the United Nations who possess knowledge, experience, and wisdom can offer many recommendations for implementing the proposals I have presented to you today. If the United Nations, with its origins as a government organization, cannot fulfill these, then they should be fulfilled through non-governmental organizations or other private organizations. If we work together and make continuous efforts, peace and happiness will surely be realized on earth. I pray that God's blessing be with your families and your endeavors. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Topier, for your prayer. Mrs. Nola, thank you for your reading. Now I'm very happy and have the honor to present another very, very special guest, the National President of Anul Pomonin, Holy Community in the beautiful island of Santa Lucia, Reverend Remy Topier, who will share some words of guidance, inspiration, or testimony with all of us. Once again, thank you very much and welcome, dear Brother Remy. Let's welcome you with a warm applause.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, brothers and sisters and the leaders of the Anul Pomonin Holy Community. This is a pleasure to be here with you and to share some aspects of this speech. I'm going to share my screen. So this speech, it's a very historical speech of our two parents. The title is The Direction for the World and the United Nations. But really the subtitle of this speech could be Proposal for a Bicameral UN Assembly. This was the first time True Father was publicly, officially announcing that project. A bicameral UN Assembly. Bicameral means two sides, two bodies, two chambers. Like in a normal government, you have the Congress, the House of Assembly, and then we have the Senate. Usually we say the Senate is like the upper house, and the House of Assembly is like the lower house. So right now, the United Nations is only made of persons sent by the governments, representing more the political side. So our True Parents' idea is that the United Nations should also recognize the spirituality and also the religions, the religion, the good side that religion can bring to for unity of the world. So the bicameral UN Assembly means there will be the same UN Assembly as it is now, but added to that would be another council made of religious leaders and leaders of wisdom, leaders who have experienced in their own country, who are peacemaker in their own country. And this one person like that could be delegated to the United Nations to form the council, a religious council inside the United Nations. So it at that time was quite a revolutionary thinking. So the idea behind this is, as our True Parents always explain, is that we have this conflict mind-body, like Father said in this speech. Each of us must end the conflict between our mind and body and bring them into harmonious union. And also Father said, the original ideal for human beings is that we live with our mind and body united in resonance with God's true love. So Father is explaining that God has an internal nature, an external form, and within God, there is no disharmony between internal and external characteristics. It is so because the absolute God has no contradiction or conflict within himself. So through this, as Father explained in other speeches, it means that God really created us, created human beings like him in his image. At the origin, there was no disharmony, or there should be no contradiction or conflict in ourselves. But some accident happened that we call the fall, of course. And so through this, true parents want to say that one day, sooner or later, when we can model our attitudes on God's love, then we also can build this unity between mind and body. One day, all humankind will be able to live again without contradiction and conflict between mind and body. Father say human beings resemble God as his sons and daughters. Each individual can truly unite mind and body. Because we are sons and daughters, surely one day we'll be able to come back like to the original status without contradiction between mind and body, centered on God's love or God's true love. And the place where we do that, where human beings do this, is in the family. The first place where we do that is in the family. And at the center of the family are the parents. The parents should become true parents. So that's why, as we read, True Father is proposing, asking the United Nations to establish a global United Nations, a World True Parents Day, and also a World True Family Day, as a preparation to educate humankind and bring them to form this council, double council in the United Nations. So this United Council, this religious council that Father is talking about in this speech, from our true parents' point of view and God's point of view, the religious leaders are those who should be giving the direction in cooperation together with the political leaders. Father is saying here, this religious council would consist of respected spiritual leaders in fields such as religion, culture, and education. Of course, the members of this interreligious assembly will need to have demonstrated an ability to transcend the limited interest of individual nations and to speak for the concerns of the entire world and humanity at large. And here we can see behind this, the hope of true parents was that in this council of religious leaders or wise leaders, then ambassadors for peace who are connected with us, good ambassadors for peace, will be nominated to be in this council. So that would give also a way for true parents to influence the United Nations. That was somehow our true parents' desire. These ambassadors would promote movements dedicated to the realization of peace and social welfare. Moreover, in all nations, they would serve as conscientious guardians of loyal ideals such as justice, security, and peace. That means they would work not only, of course, on the world level, but in their own nation. They will also be source of justice, security, and peace, bringing peace and social welfare. Religious leaders who represent the internal concerns of the mind and conscience work cooperatively and respectfully with national leaders who have much practical wisdom and worldly experience about the external reality that houses the physical body. So true parents are showing respect, great respect for also the political leaders. When we have families and then several families, or in a community or on the national level, we need some organization to, like we need to eat, we need to drink. So the political side is responsible to, for example, organize the distribution of water or distribution of electricity, the commerce, all this side is the political leaders' responsibility. But also at the same time, human beings need to learn to live together, to respect each other, cooperate like one big family under God's love. That's the mission of the religious leaders, wise men, those who have already experienced, pass it on to the newer generations like that. So we need both. We need good religious leaders and we need good political leaders. So that's where the work of all the work of the Universal Peace Federation also it's a work of education for religious leaders and the political leaders. And our True Mother established the International Association of Parliamentarians for Peace, representing the religious leaders. This is an association to educate the political leaders. And then beside that, also True Mother established the Interreligious Association for Peace and Development. This is an association to educate the religious leaders, and they should work in cooperation, like mind and body should cooperate and unite, centered on God's love. And then, as we read, our True Parents made some proposal of peace zones, and especially they were thinking about North and South Korea. So Father said, I am purchasing almost 1.2 million hectares of fertile land in South America's Mercosur countries to help compensate countries for any land they may lose as a result of the establishment of UN peace zones. I have already notified the leaders of North and South Korea that I am prepared to turn over to them portion of that land in South America for their use. And Father explained that this peace zone, which is around the DMZ between North and South Korea, would be a place also where there could be some hall or museum of education. And the hope of True Parents was that really the United Nations would take this project as heart and would be the one to manage those peace zones. And the Father is saying that it will be a place where people can live in harmony. So what I see from that is that in reality, it will be a place where members, unificationists, will be able to show and demonstrate how to build a good community living together in those peace zones. And the prolongation of that is the effort that now so the Universal Peace Federation and our True Mother has been doing to establish, asking that a 5th UN office could be established on the demarcation zone between North and South. We already have 4 offices, UN offices in the world. It's New York is one, Geneva, Vienna, and Nairobi in Kenya, in Africa. But Asia, which is the place where there is the most population in the world, maybe 2/3 of the population, has no UN office. So True Parents have been really pushing so that a 5th UN office could be established there between between North and South Korea, and making there a peace zone with a UN office. So, sorry, my camera is giving me trouble. So I would like to finish by saying that in this speech, Father is speaking on the world level, but we too, in our own nations, we have to become role models or ambassadors for peace and goodness. So that's our mission also in our community, in the schools, wherever we are. We have to be this like upper council representing wisdom, the religious side, that can inspire other people to become better. So this is not just something on the world level, but also for each one of us, wherever we are, starting in our own family, of course. We have to practice that every day. So thank you very much. Thank you for listening. Have a blessed day.
Before our unison prayer, I wanted to thank you to all brothers and sisters who are joining us today for the first time in this beautiful Ondoke session. Thank you very much and welcome. Let's pray together. Special thanks to the Holy Community of host country Santa Lucia and to his host group today. and to the interpret of this session, the brother Rodolfo Ramos Granizo. Thank you very much. Success and blessing information to all of you leaders, blessed families, your brothers and sisters.
Thank you, Sister Nola.
Yes, thank you, Noah.
Well done. Thank you for your reading today.
Thank you,
morning.
Reverend Tapia. Great job.
We love you.
Yes.
Muchas gracias.
Best day for everyone.
Have a wonderful day. God bless you.
Hi, Princess. Nice to see you.
Auntie, how are you? We
Yeah,
love
good
you.
morning, Reverend. Blessings to everyone. Love you all. Love you all.
Hola, familia Sánchez. También los queremos. Saranhamnida.
Gracias.
El amor es mutuo para todos.
Hermana Laura, buenos días.
También la queremos.